esports betting. Dota, CSGO, Overwatch, Hearthstone, and many more. Bet on tournament matches or in-game events while viewing them live. Deposit using money, bitcoins, or even skins. Join LootBet now. Use the code you see here when you deposit and grab your bonus.
Alright, hello and welcome back. We are in the pistol round, just getting ready to go. First frag has already come down. And it's of course TyLoo on the CT side, MVP on the T side, X accurate. Quick double for him.
That's a big double kill to find. Instantly grabbing a pulse on this T side play. MVP looking to advance up on towards the A side, but being shut down by X accurate. Double peek as well comes in towards mid, though nearly giving up an opportunity, but DD with the trade. The CZ putting in the work. Of course, the pistol round CZ are a renowned weapon to bring out, and one that leaves us 2v2 for TyLoo in a much better stead. Design picking up DD there is ideal. Now we have just one player remaining. Zion peeking on around. It's the CZ. You just love to see it. Peeks around the corner. At that range is happy days for Zion.
My boys MVP coming out with the pistol round win here. Very nice to see. I felt like the play coming in from X accurate there was really nice, and then it kind of fell apart after that. I don't know what DD was doing, just jumping around, just straight into his opponent, but
he got a little bit lost in mid. I'm not really sure what he thought he would gain from the mid peak, but
we're gonna see the triple Mac 10 setup. Lots of utility on this T side, and we do see on the minimap to the top right, smokes being thrown. They're gonna land on this B side, and this is gonna be the very standard B push that we do see coming in from MVP right now. It's not going to be the full push. That means that they're not going to take control over plateau, but they're just going to throw that out there, show some presence, leave one player in that position, that's Sign, and then the rest of the players are going to go back, hold positions, and then wait for the mid-round call of where to push.
I like the fact that because these Mac 10s are in play there for MVP, they're being very mobile as a team. Obviously, that's something that you do get from investing in those SMGs, is just that additional mobility. It's a nice way to kind of deal with the CZs as well. Obviously, those CZs are kind of the culprit for the way these rounds go one-to-one. See the push comes in, somebody connecting one, but trade does come through. Zeph able to land the shot on towards his head.
And that's what you want. You want to be able to come in and take that one-for-one trade with the Mac 10. HSK drops into drop. Bentet with the CZ frag onto solo. HSK now in a perfect position to take out even more players.
This was worrying, but with Zeph finding it as well, I think that is pretty much going to secure things. HSK pushing it over the line means MVP, who've gone 2-0. The third should come relatively easily. This is a good start.
This is definitely a good start. AWP being saved up, though, for X accurate. And should be an easy 3-0. And as we were talking about, if MVP, if they can get like this 5-0 start, which means basically winning the pistol and then winning the first buy round, they're looking quite solid. They're also starting on the T side, which is what I would have done as well. You can control the pace on Cobblestone. You can kind of control where this half kind of goes. And if you have a team and if you are, you say, confident in your own ability to win aim duels, the T side is always preferable, I feel like.
Slow and steady. That is the tactic here that you have to bring into play. If you're MVP, you do not want to give these pistols a way into the round. Not at all. I mean, USPs pretty much have to find the double dink to be relevant in the round. But even then, it's damage that just shouldn't be done by TyLoo. For MVP, they don't want to. They want to make money for a start with these SMGs, but they also want to build their bankroll. And that's going to be something that kind of goes hand in hand with that first comment about just finding those kills. So definitely got to play this one relatively safe. Obviously building up as a bit of a cluster in B plat currently. That is where they're likely to explode as a core 4. They have got their 5th Solo just probing out around the A site.
That's nice.
It's a big kill for DD Define because it is that damage. Glow, one of those players with a weapon of value. Less than ideal. More damage though being done. Solo farming them up. That's 1.2k in the bank. Sign taken down X accurate means it is just going to be BNT left.
Yeah, all they need to do now is pick up the dropped AK, and this round is going to be perfect. Let's see if they're going to get it. Sign is going for it. Just gets it with him. So they get all Mac 10 kills. They get 2 AKs into the next round. Orb coming in from HSK. This is almost the perfect start for MVP. I can't imagine a better start for them. Also with TyLoo, their money's not really being that good because they only had around 1900 to 2000 and then 3k on the Orb. But that's still going to be an Orb without utility. We still have only 1 kid on the CT side. We still are missing Molotovs on everybody apart from somebody who went for the UMP buy. So this is a very good chance for MVP to go 5-0 on this T side.
Even the smokes as well. I mean, we've already seen one smoke thrown that was rendered instantly redundant via Molly. The upside is X Accurate gets a big pick on Solo. That's a huge kill to find because as much as their utility is being ground out early on, trading that back by just pulling away that early kill is so valuable for TyLoo. And it gives them the freedom as well to be more confident with getting Mo more aggressive on A long, using X Accurate there to peek down through mid.
See what the plan is. I'm pretty sure that was the flank from Solo on towards that A long where he got picked off. X accurate was accurate with his sniper rifle. Still 4 smokes to go, 2 Molotovs on that T side, so lots of utility remain. Seth flashing himself down. Drop control is taken. DD has to play close to the window.
Super vocal though. I mean, DD knows what's going on. Somebody as well knows what's going on. You've seen the rotations come in from Mo. If MVP were faking right now, this would be the perfect play. But they're not. They're standing their ground. They're doing this B hit. And I'm not sure this is going to work out. Everyone right now completely blind on both teams. The stall does pay off in the sense that Zeph gets one. But it's just a trading game. TyLoo running the numbers. Glow again going to bring something back. But Mo with a double kill just completely cuts down this push from MVP. Sign is going to at least grab the head of DD, but Mo is just carrying this round on his back, gets all 3 kills. It's accurate to finish this one off with the AWP. Means TyLoo, I'm going to go out and say a comfortable first buy for them. I mean, sure, they lost 3 players, but I don't think that was a real moment of panic. I don't think there was a moment in the round where we thought TyLoo legitimately were going to lose that.
Yeah, as you said, like earlier on, like they had the rotations in place. The second that they got the opening kill on the opposite bomb side, they played 2 stack long towards A, and then the exact second that I think DD called that they were taking drop control on the T side, one of those players rotated instantly, so he was ready, and then the other player was on the very nice flank in order to rotate quickly as well. So also now picking up double op setup, this is nice for TyLoo, which also means that MVP has to kind of like think about, okay, what went wrong in that strat, and I think the plan is now to make a bit of noise towards B. Maybe get one player into drop to kind of confuse them a bit and then do the split A hit. It seems to be the way of doing things. 2 players going into drop. DD just holding it defensively under the window, but Sign is ready for that. Here comes the split.
DD really was the player to watch, but now with X Accurate filling his shoes, we want to be kind of following the tail of this AWP because it's just doing so much work right now. 2 kills found. Zeph finally is going to trade. Glow taking down Mo. That's a disaster, but somebody picks up the AWP anyway and finds just another pick. Glow is going to force the plant on the site, but we got ourselves a very welcome 2v2. Solo picking off somebody, though, means BNZ is caught towards door. That should not be a pick they find, but nonetheless, I thought BNZ would be out right now, but no, he's forced back. This is a disaster.
That's so weird as well, like how they played that, the 2 remaining CTs. An Orb and an M4, and the Orb just rushes in to take a duel at car. I don't understand that whatsoever. Might have been some
much slower play there.
Yeah, and also it might have been a communication issue of them not being sure of when to go in, because that looked very off timing. Nonetheless, it's going to be C-sets, the reset coming in. MVP on 4, and TyLoo just on these pistols, but we know how powerful they can be, especially grouped up with the Scout as well on X Accurate. We know how good he is with the snipers, so this is not an unwinnable round, but on the other side of things, triple Mac 10 for MVP.
Oof. Solo somewhat oblivious to the peak that comes in. Accurate hungry for more as well, now re-peaking time and time again with the trusty Scout. Zeph gonna blow his head off, but I mean, look at the damage done to this MVP lineup. These CZs will eat them alive. So they are gonna whittle them down bit by bit, leaving just Mo, of course, with the Deagle. It's worth noting MVP on 4 rounds, currently about to break through to their 5th, and if they do that, you know, breaking the barrier of what they achieved in their last map on Cobble against TyLoo.
Yeah. It's a good change of pace for them, if you look at things historically. Right now, if Captain Mo can get just a single frag here, it's great for him, but he's not going to be able to get it. It's going to be another Mach 10 kill for Sign. That's going to be 5 rounds in the bank for MVP and a possibility of a 6th one, because this is the full eco coming in from TyLoo. Money still very much available on this T side. Mach 10's even been thrown over, so this is a very, very nice time for MVP right now. This is the start they needed.
This is like a basic motivation thing as well, right? Because they break through what they achieved last time. So that's like kind of the small victories. And I feel like that's one of the things you do in CSGO as a leader. You try and motivate your team using those small wins to kind of keep them on the highs throughout a best of one, especially in a best of one. Yeah,
you got to section it off and say, okay, this is the first part of it. We now defeated the first part. Now let's go for the second, the third, the fourth, the fifth part. Instead of it being one big insurmountable challenge, it becomes 5 smaller challenges. Yeah, that feels realistic.
You break it down. So they wanted to obviously get more than 4 rounds. Now they're on 5. They're getting the 6th as a freebie. I mean, let's be realistic.
There's no way. There's no way. If they lose this one, they don't deserve to win any more rounds. Like, I'm just gonna come straight out and say that.
I think that's a pretty safe bet as well. Yeah. So overall, they're 6-1 up. I mean, I think MVP should be feeling pretty. You know what? Not pretty happy. MVP should probably be feeling on top of the world right now on their T side.
And also, if you look back at how well they played at WSG, this is just a continuation of this. Talking about sectioning off, this is exactly what Solo's doing right now. I love that smoke at the end of long. It's very nice to say, okay, we're going to take this control. You can either fight us or you can stay back. But it's also making them think what's going on. This smoke is something that is usually thrown before a push. So that's why they're actually pushing now, because they're realizing this is a fake. But Solo, on top of everything, not on top of his shots, though.
One thing I like, though, is that they're still playing smart, even though it's against pistols.
Yeah.
Constantly leaving TyLoo kind of in the lurk. They're not giving them any sort of predictable decisions, nothing to really play off of. I mean, look, they've even just fake planted just to make 100% sure that no one's going to be caught by surprise. Really thinking about keeping every player alive, building their bank. I mean, this is some 40 Counter-Strike right now from MVP.
Yeah, and that's one of the things I feel like is international, maybe even European, and especially North American CS is missing right now, is the discipline that MVP is showing. They know they're up against a full eco, yet, as you mentioned, still do the fake plan, still play defensive. And I have seen many a Danish, many a North American team be against a full eco and just say, like, we're just going to push out and then we're going to... And then they get, like... They lose, like, 3 weapons.
6 rounds in China. 6 rounds in China with full P250s beating full bows for me. So that is my tale from China for you right there. So I'm firmly in the camp of MVP here when I say that what they're doing is right. There's never really an excuse for me for you losing a weapon against pistols.
Definitely.
No, I say I say you shouldn't lose a weapon at all, let alone if you lose a player, so be it. But there should never be a reality against just purely pistols with no utility, no nothing, where you lose more than
Because at the point where you're doing a full eco and you're getting 2 frags, then you're basically doing so much more economical damage than you should be able to do, and that's just a nice win.
Don't get me wrong, if they buy a flash and it's a good angle, so be it. But if we're talking just like 5 USPs or basically what we just saw from TyLoo, there should be at most 1 kill found. There should never be anything more. So
I completely agree.
I think that follows in tandem with what you said about the discipline. I think that's actually a really solid point. It's just the idea that teams in general from this region try and bring that sort of style of play to kind of have that level of comfort.
Yeah, I think it's an important thing to have, to make sure that you're always on top of things, to make sure that you keep giving yourself the best chance possible of winning the game. And right now we've jumped onto the Chinese signal. It seemed like the Go TV relay has basically stopped working. So this is now the Chinese stream I think we're on right now, or secondary channel. But that's the magic of StarLadder. They're still going to be able, even though the Go TV goes out, they're still going to be able to help you out. So
yeah, this is a big B-flat push as well, bear in mind. I mean, BNT has to be so careful right now, peeking out with his AWP. That molly is going to section off those 2 different sides. DD with a big kill on towards Zeph. BNT following up with a second on towards HSK. Starts to break them down as they enter on towards B. But the hidden link is going to be Zyme right now. If he can catch off BNT, that is a big opportunity. But Glow's going to do it anyway. Solo taking down Mo. The round's open. Voila. Somebody left in a 1v3.
They are taking B side without actually utilizing their smokes really onto the bomb side, onto the percentage of Venton, and they're still making it work. That's
They are all
nice
super
play.
low though, so that's there is
still
certainly an era of caution right now that has to be.
The big flank is coming in now.
Yeah, that's kind of rough. You draw your attention towards the map and you go, okay, yeah, I know where we stand though. Hang on, there's a lot of time left. I can't hear the bomb, so I think yeah, there's a lot of time left. If you kill Glow right now, you get on the bomb.
Yeah,
you
but
win
he
this
doesn't
round.
have a kit. He doesn't have a kit.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
So that's like if he had a kit in that second he gets that kill, he's gonna go for the defuse. But when he doesn't have one, he's too afraid. The bomb is taken away.
Yeah.
He's gonna be able to save the AWP, so still something taken out of this round. But MVP getting another round, and now we're getting the pause as well in China to get the GoTV relay back up and running. And that's the opening for HSK. Nice little boost on the left side. You can still do boost on both right and left side on Plateau on that C side to make things work.
This is such a big point in the game, though. I mean, we talked about the idea of MVP kind of building up these rounds, having the discipline to build their economy. Look at their bank. I mean, 9,100 on Glow, 6,700 on Zeph. I don't really need to talk about everybody because you can kind of get a very clear picture just from those two alone.
Yeah.
Compare that to TyLoo. I mean...
No, they're going to have to CZ buy around this.
Yeah, but like, what do you... Okay, so you have to CZ buy around it, right? Because he's got the Kevin the kit with the utility, right? And
even though they have a lot of loss bonus, I still don't agree with buying down to 1650. Like,
well, what's the number? That's effectively what I'm asking. What is the number? Is it 2K?
My number is, in this situation with this much of a loss bonus, the max you can buy down to is 1900 in my idea. Because you want to have the M4, you want to have at least some utility, and some of the players have to be able to buy kits, at least 2 kits. And in order to have that with that kind of loss bonus, you can't buy down to 1650. I understand that the difference is him getting an armor and not getting an armor. He could get a flash instead, but that's not what he wanted. But Captain Mo right now needs to get a kill in this round, or else his money is going to be very, very wrecked. Let's just put it like that for the next couple of rounds.
Something definitely we're going to be keeping an eye on as this round progresses. Obviously in round 9 right now at 7-1. TyLoo have to start thinking about upping their game, to put it bluntly. Obviously somebody has HSK boxed in, but the smoke is then going to reveal an opportunity for him to cross back over towards his teammates and stay effectively safely tucked in right now.
This is such a interesting choice to make. So if he sees the smoke goes down and he goes close range with the AWP, I think it's because he's already made noise with the AWP, so they don't expect him to be close range. I think that's the argument behind it.
I know Valve made some changes to Negev, but I don't remember reading the patch notes that said the AWP was now a shotgun.
Yeah, it has a secondary mode. You just press like your 7 button and it turns into a auto shotgun. It's very nice.
Nice.
Yeah.
What a great feature.
Yeah,
Love
it. Valve always coming out with the great changes.
Oh, for sure.
Okay,
Captain Mo. A chance. Ooh, that's a big headshot. Slows down this big plat play quite a bit. Allows BNT to be there as well. That's a second eagle that does follow one up. BNT now needs to play the corner. Connects the first spray, loads up with the second, runs out of ammo, which buys that chance for Zeph to secure the double kill. If he now falls back, don't play predictably into the CZ. Wait for Solo, who gets caught by the AWP. Devastating.
See, those are the rounds you cannot lose when you're MVP. There's just no way that you can lose a round like that.
Yeah, I mean, even I got caught by that. I'm sitting there thinking, wait, what? Like, Solo was such a big possession from behind. You just needed to wait for him.
Also, I don't understand why they didn't just mull on flash out towards Plateau when taking that. Like, you're just inviting a player like Mo, if he has a deagle, to just go out and hit a couple of headshots. They were quick to answer back after he got the second one, but when taking Plateau, needing those mollos and needing those flashes to come out is... Yeah, I just don't understand. And yeah, the whole Solo flank thing, waiting for it, is also weird. But then again, like, that was a mistake from MVP. What they need to focus on now is not making that same mistake.
Yeah, I mean, if they can shut down TyLoo here, then they're already going to be a much better stead anyway. Just jumping over the molly. DD going to find one, but HSK quick with the trade. Now plowing out on towards the site. BNT trying to hold down Plat, but again, it's the 1-4 trade. HSK securing the frag on X-Ray. Makes life very, very awkward. It's accurate. Just dead to right on the site. Leaving somebody and Captain Mo to try and save this round. Now, looking at the map, you can see somebody is towards second room, just holding on towards that center site, piercing then back towards the back of Plat, but finding nothing right now.
They're just looking for an opening. They need an opening to get in and do this retake because it's so hard to do.
The face. I mean, it's so nice.
Yeah, now he has to rotate away. There's no way he's going to win a 1v2 with an AWP. I say that, it's actually good. This is in my mind not the correct decision. Okay, he just wanted to go for the exit. Good. Okay, somebody, we understand each other, that's fine.
It's all good. He's going to go for the exit, then backs away. saves the AWP, so all is good in the world. Thing is, though, the money of TyLoo is now going to be a little all over the place, really. I mean, you can have some players who can do stuff. I mean, that being BNTET and X-Accurate. The rest of the team, not so much. They're about 1850, 1700.
Yeah. In this situation, I would probably just drop Deagles for Captain Mo, and okay.
Nah,
they're just not going for it. They're just going to go for the force buy.
This tournament really has been, so far today, the event that just catches us off guard, because we've been doing a lot of sort of had just expectations in general, really.
X-Accurate going for the full glass cannon. Okay, when you can hit just like that somebody, it's fine, but
it's all good.
I just expect at this point, when now they've heard there are 2 ops, so they just know they have to box them out with their smokes, flush them out on the bomb side with mollies, and then just do a structured execute, and that should be the round win for MVP.
I feel like the trick with these teams, though, is not to expect anything. That seems to be the kind of the note for me in this game so far, because we expected them not to give the season the Deagles opportunities, but they did, and then we kind of found ourselves
so nice.
Running over our words there. We expected them not to give chances to these AWPs, but they did.
I like this kind of small boost in this position. If someone is watching a very defensive angle, you can kind of catch them off guard. This time around, it's not going to work out.
Just need a good flash.
I hope the actually HSK doesn't have a flash, so you can't really flash him in.
I think you don't have any flashes left.
Nope. Smoke landing.
That's
this
rough.
Should be the one for the door.
X-Accurate. Nearly falling for it, though.
Oh, he is screwed right now. Oh, he gets a shot, though. Somebody taking the duel.
Somebody steals it away.
That's always sad to see.
The corner. X-Accurate will be traded out almost instantaneously. Solo then picking up the AWP, but somebody still on the site, just holding things down. A nice wide swing from Sign, but struggling to finish things off. It is going to be BNTET to push it over the line for TyLoo, 3-8.
So all logic has left this game at this point. Force buys work, and Desert Eagles are worth the investment against a full board AK team. I might just not do any predictions from now on.
Yeah, again, like, get full circle back to my point about expectations. Yeah. I mean, we might as well just not go into this thinking anything at this point. Just look at what's presented right in front of us. And talking about that, I mean, look at the economy of MVP and the fact they have just taken 30 seconds.
I like the fact that they're taking a tactical pause before this, because decisions have to be made. It's going to be the force buy. Yeah, there we go. Buying down to $500 and $700. This has to be the force buy for all players. At this point, I would probably just do a B execute, put some pace on it, make sure that you can kind of surprise and attack the opposition. They have 3 smokes. Throw the two from T spawn, and then the smoke from Plateau. Line up on the left side, and then 2 Molotovs. You can even double burn Chicken Coop if you want, and then flashes over, take up control with Seth. Actually, they're gonna use one of the Molos on Plateau, and then second one I think is saved for Chicken Coop. Let's see DD in drop.
Yeah, using a flash to push him away, but somebody picking up 2 is big. DD finding Solo as well. Means the drop may well have been cleared. BNTET taking down Sign. This round is pretty much done. HSK should have no way in. And there's an AWP just magically next to him. I mean, it just doesn't get better than that.
Alright, they went for the drop play. Did not work out. But nice enough to have tested it out, see if it works with this kind of force buy. This is going to be the full eco for them. And not really much they can do in this one. Yeah. Reaching the ends of the first round. That's why you see the odds for the upcoming pistol. As we usually see, very, very close. And as you know, if I ever say anything about pistol, just bet the opposite way and you're going to make money easy. That's a 100% guarantee from at least the last game. I'm 100% wrong so far.
100% wrong from one game is that's a great sample
Actually,
size.
to be honest, it doesn't even matter if you're wrong or right. If you have a 100% streak of anything, then people can still use it, because then they'll just do the opposite. And they'll be 100% right.
That's how stats work.
Yeah. Missed shot from X-Accurate. Not as accurate that time around. Molotovs raining, invented close range. M4 just spraying them down.
Definitely sneaking in one, but it's going to be a whitewash round for TyLoo as they make it look so simple. Blissfully wiping away MVP PK, as it is going to be their 5th round on the board. And at least a welcome chance for MVP to try and secure this at least 9-6, because they can buy, right?
Very curious to see if they're going to run 2 UMPs full utility, or they're going to run 5 AKs.
Yeah,
case.
I mean, at this point, things are just quite comical anyway for me for MVP because they had such a good lead.
Yeah.
I just want them to use this buy. It's one of the reasons why I kind of refer to it in a jokey way, that 9-6 scoring, because if they don't get 9-6 here, I still think this half has been a failure for them overall.
Yeah. Hopefully they don't get stuck on that line of thought when we go into the second half, because that's such a dangerous mindset to have.
True, true.
Even though you're 100% correct. And sometimes as a player, you just have to ignore facts.
I don't know what somebody's up to. You've only got 5 rounds, buddy. It's,
No reason to get cocky 5 rounds in.
yeah, you got a long way to go.
And this is now MVP taking advantage of the extra confidence coming in from TyLoo, making them push aggressively. But look at this potential for a double spray down. Solo shuts it down once again, though. Double kill for him. Smokes are being thrown.
They just have to trade. That's all they got to do at this point.
Yep.
It's a 3v2, 55 seconds on the clock. They've got the utility to smoke off door and re-smoke balcony as well. They could even smoke center site if they wanted to make life for the Intet just even that more difficult.
I love the fact that Solo just threw a smoke and then remembered there was a secondary smoke, throws that and then flashes his teammate in. Like, he is the perfect support player. This is so nice to see, because we always see players who are throwing smokes and flashing for their teammates. But look at this Bentet.
You got to check that. You really got to check that. Solo now left in a 1v1. 30 seconds on the clock. No information on
That's
where
the bomb.
Xaccurate is going to be. Does have the bomb, like you say, so can get to the site. And he's just going to go for the plant. Xaccurate not going to use this as a chance to make a push. Instead, just going to slowly scope out the site. Solo sitting very far back, though. I think that actually kind of works out for this,
For sure.
this play here. I mean, you're forcing the AWP in nice and close. You're relying on Xaccurate to hit a big shot. Obviously, going for this broken wall approach somewhat works out a little better for Xaccurate. You can hit a 6 shot, which you will.
That's the thing. You can either sit back on the bomb side and then hope for the fact that he's not going for the broken wall shot, or you can stay close to the bomb side and just hug the wall there and dance back and forth. I think both are equally viable. This time around it works out for TyLoo, but I have to say, that was such a nice round by Solo. He gets 3 kills, throws 2 smokes that are perfect, flashes for his teammates so they can come out in mid. And I'm bringing this up because a lot of CS players, especially in the, let's say, the lower parts of the scene, they're not putting enough effort into becoming a great team player, knowing how to throw smokes for your teammates, knowing how to throw flashes for your teammate. Everyone is focused on the frags. Everyone is focused on being on top of that scoreboard. And Solo, he's above the 30-year mark now. He has played a lot of CS. He knows that it's about the team winning, not just him winning.
And the only way to win is to win as a team. Winning as an individual doesn't mean a thing. In this round, it is going to be a quick 1-to-1 drop, proving to be a bit of an interesting battle here for MVP. To be honest, it's not really worked for them, so I'm not quite sure why they're trying to use and abuse it time and time again. This time around, wrapping through A long, though, Solo does pick off DD at least, so a welcome opportunity presents itself in the form of the A site. But with little utility, they cannot smoke off the door, which makes this cross very, very scary for them. The Intet just lurking behind APC. Flash after flash just keeps the pressure mounting up on towards this T-side. Solo, though, blasting being sent out the server. Means it is just Xaccurate left blind, but behind truck. Means he is going to be shrouded by the cover of Solo.
Please hug the wall now. Oh, he's going for the... This is interesting. Yeah, okay. So instead of going for what you usually do, he takes a chance glow and goes for the aggressive peek, and it works out this time around. I actually also have to credit the mid-round calling there. It has to be HSK or Solo in the middle of the round. I'm not actually sure how they split that. Usually you have the in-game leader doing that. You could have Solo doing that in this scenario. But the mid-round call was, okay, the original strat, 3 smokes towards B, we take drop, we split B. They get locked down and drop. Instantly, the mid-round call comes in, and that's so important to have someone who can make that snap-second decision, saying, okay, we've done so much towards B, they probably have 4 players rotated in, let's rotate quickly and go towards the other side. And it works out for them. They get the bomb down, they get it down to a 2v1, sadly lose one of the players in that 2v1, that makes it a 1v1, but wins it anyway. Really nice mid-round call. Here we go, pistol coming in.
Yeah, it's going to be an important round as well. I think 9-6 overall is a good half for MVP. It was kind of the bare minimum for me after the lead that they had, so hopefully they can now use this to get a pistol build up to 10 and start to kind of find their success. Obviously, it's a lot of utility on TyLoo, the smoke molly. That's a big shot on towards Xaccurate. A second as well, putting him down to 9 HP. Well, then we get a bit of a lull as the smoke just completely hides them back. Low is going to fire a few shots through.
No one's holding drop.
Does come down. The nade does no damage. Okay. They're still trading, though. Risk, everything is working out
Yeah.
for MVP. The shots just come barreling in. Somebody going to rattle one back with a Glock, but even then, it's a 1 versus 4 that he has to try and clutch out right now.
Yeah, he can go for the A plant here, but he actually decides to just do the double fake, the good old double fake.
He's got a minute on the clock. He's got so much time to work with.
The problem is if he gets spotted now from HSK, if he gets hurt, yeah, he's spotted now, so the round is effectively over. They know exactly where he is. Everyone's coming in from different angles. He has to win 3 individual 1v1s. And they're just going to hold back so they get the perfect angles.
Well, that's better, though. I'd rather take 3 1v1s than 1 1v3.
Yeah, oh yeah, that's true, but it's still so hard to do. Also because it's not going to be 1v1s where the CTs are challenging you. They're all going to hold defensive angles.
Oh, true, true.
So you have to peek out against them.
Hey, life's never easy if you want to find a win.
He's checking every single corner. He's so afraid now. Oh, goes for the 1. All right, 1 crossed off, 2 left. See, I don't like actually solo peeking that.
You see what I mean? Like, he gets another 1v1 here now. He can chase...
Yeah, now Solo
down.
Solo has to play defensively, and he does that, so it works out.
But imagine somebody finds that kill.
Yeah.
Then you have a plant on the side. There's still time to spare. You can see how those rounds easily are lost.
Oh yeah, for sure. That's why when you lose the first player, you have to focus on the fact that you have to peek him at the same time. You have to make it like a 2v1 instead of 2 individual 1v1s.
That first player should effectively be the hand of your opponent slapping you in the face, saying, you know, get it together.
We see triple Mac 10 setup sometimes. Now we see a quadruple MP9 setup.
Someone was unhappy about that.
I'm kind of...
You want the fence?
I like it, but I don't like it because it's a good tactical decision. I like it because the MP9 sounds so nice.
It does actually, doesn't it? It's a really good sort
pleasing.
of like...
I get throwbacks back to the old days of Source where we had the TMP.
Oh, that was
called the water spray gun, as we used to call it in Denmark. Very nice. Was completely unusable for every single scenario unless you were holding a close range angle against a full eco.
I think it was a great gun. Hopping around a deathmatch with that thing was good times.
MP9 is the ugly stepchild of that.
I don't know, man. Put a bit of sandstorm on. Life's good.
Let's see if they can get something done. To be honest, I feel like having something that can battle close range against the CZ is actually a nice choice in this one. And then having the FAMAS for the longer range battles, for example, against the Scout.
Obviously using the utility to start to chip away at TyLoo as well, putting practically every player hit by somebody down to a limited amount of HP, obviously 85, 88, 75, and 56. So far so good. As TyLoo then look to build up and do something together. Now the B-side obviously I think is a fairly obvious target. Obviously it's going to be interesting to see how Drop develops here. In the first half we saw Drop being a very weak point of MVP's T-side for me. I think that's where they lost the bulk of their rounds by just overcommitting to a Drop play. So I'll certainly be curious if TyLoo find much better success. As so far, so good. They do push out through plant. Zine is going to secure both of the kills. Captain Mo sneaky in one, but it is kind of too little too late. Leaving just accurate to try and sneak in this plant. But no, goes to the fake plant. Wants to be careful. That leads to a big scout shot and a chance at a second on towards Glow. Nasty, nasty stuff.
That is some pretty high level scout play right there. I'm going to give him that. That's pretty insane. I actually like the decision because you can either, in that situation, you can actually bank on getting the plant, but instead of that, he just goes for the straight fake, takes out 2 weapons as well. And it's a nice choice. They were gonna eco this round anyway, and since they're on the T side and have a loss bonus, they're gonna be able to buy fully almost. They're gonna miss 2 flashbangs, I think. DD's gonna miss the smoke as well because he bought a P250 here. But it's fine. Like it's no worries for TyLoo. That's not gonna be how they lose the game. They lose the game in this upcoming buy round and the buy round after that if they lose.
Yeah, these are the rounds that really now begin to hold a lot of stock, but at least for now, we also have a bit of a minute or so just to kind of sit back, relax, take stock of the situation.
Yeah.
But TyLoo, I think, start to mentally frame that next round in your head. Would you say it's becoming more common now, I think? You know, at least I've seen it from teams, especially on the western side.
The good old Swedish eco.
Yeah, those chances just to kind of talk. Because, you know, at the end of the day, let's be honest, it's Glock speaking 50 CZs, like, you kind of know when you make your push that stuff like this is going to happen, right? It's pretty cut and dry for MVP. So use that chance to kind of just get your heads together for what your round 19 is going to be. Because just like you said, this game depends on these next 2 buys.
And as I said, not perfect utility. Several players missing flashbangs. But opting for 5 smokes here is an interesting
They
choice.
have the recipe for an execute, right? That's what counts. What do they go for, though? In your mind, what is the perfect execute right now for TyLoo?
At this point, I would actually see them go for the A play. Start off with taking control on top of drop, taking control of the inner part of plateau, just making sure that no one's pushing, making presence known, and then you rotate in and take the first half section of long, and then you set up the 2 different smokes, the one for door and then the one for. Actually, you can do the Molotov below the heaven position, and then you can move in and do the smoke with heaven if you want to. I think an A split is it's my choice here. If I was the in-game leader or the coach, and then just have someone like you saw Solo flashing in towards A ramp as the last time, who can be the rotator, the flanker.
It's worth highlighting, obviously, that we've got 3 players from VP dedicated to this A site right now.
Yeah, and they're playing. 2 of them are playing ramp.
It's a pretty good read overall on kind of the situation at hand, especially when we're seeing a little bit of kind of pushing and prodding from TyLoo out on towards ramp. Zeph.
That's the first section smoke. Counter smoke from CT. That means that they're gonna have at least wait the next 20 seconds. And unless, if they start pushing now towards B for information, they know this is gonna be an A play.
The thing to watch as well is going to be long.
Oh, secondary
How
smoke.
successful is this long push going to be? Because they have to get that wrap
They
down.
have to open long now, especially with that secondary smoke coming down. That means they have to execute in the last 15 seconds, so long control has to be taken.
This is going to be an absolute frenzy. They're going to have to just panic
Solo
push
on
up
Zeph.
to ramp while walking out long at the same time. Solo is going to double back from behind.
That's
This
perfect.
smoke means they push on out. Zeph secures 1. It's a complete frenzy, just like we predicted. It's a 2v3. 17 seconds coming on around. How on earth do they make it work? They just have to brawl it out on the site. Glow putting in the work. HSK gonna face away with 10 seconds on the clock. Exacccurate finds the jewel he needs to get TyLoo the round.
Oh, that was close. I feel like the decision, the one decision, if I could point it down to something, is Solo going for the rotating away from ramp and then holding towards long from the ramp. If he had stayed down and they had a 2-man crossfire, they would have taken every single terrace player coming in towards ramp down. And yes, they might have lost 1 or 2 players towards the side from long, but then they were still in 3v2, and they could just nade the bomb site and hold it out.
I used the phrase twice in that round, and I use it for a 3rd time here as well, because it really describes it perfectly. It was a brawl.
Yeah.
And that's all they had to do as well, was just take those jewels close mid, like you say. It would have been a completely different outcome.
And actually, it worked out. They had the door smoke down. They didn't go for any molly or smoke towards upper, because they didn't really have time. But I have to, once again, like, congratulate MVP. Yes, they didn't win the round, but their usage of utility was perfect. They forced the terrorists to actually execute in the last 10-15 seconds of the round. And that's really what you want to do. If you then have a Molotov, that's where the Molotovs becomes worth its weight in gold. Because if you hold them back with smokes, 20 seconds to go, 15 seconds to go, just put Molotovs down on both positions. Yeah.
You basically win the round at that point.
Basically win the round. But talking about money and Molotovs and everything, there's none of it now on the CT side. Double up setup they have decided to go for instead of utility, or full utility. No kits either. Nice little masking of the drop zone.
That was very nice. I'm glad you got onto that. Invitational just kind of shooting off a few shots with the AK just to allow his teammate to get into second room. If they can use Exacccurate as a way to open up this round, that would be huge. But this smoke kind of makes things a little bit problematic for him. He has to wait for that to fade. And they've re-smoked him as well. I'm not sure if they're aware that they're in there. I mean, they definitely are now with those 2 additional players dropping. That's going to be a comm that Zeph will make.
But the read from MVP is so good.
They're not checking it either. Damage is done. 20 seconds left. Now they are going to gear up to take this A site. Solo, this is all on you. You get the right kill. And the round is won. The molly goes towards backside. He is staying very nicely tucked in. Oh, the shot.
Oh, that's so
only
unlucky.
Hits the leg.
So unlucky.
15 HP.
That
That
should
is
be the
not
round.
ideal.
That should be the round.
Now they
Sign
have to
can-
consider retaking.
Yeah, Sign can go in and see if he can get a frag here. If he gets an opening, they can consider the retake. If he doesn't get an opening, save the orb and save the M4. That has to be the choice. HSK opens with 1. They know there's 1 on the back of the bomb site. This is very possible now.
All
So
the
much information.
They have it all. DD's 4 HP as well. Bear in mind, he's a one-shot wonder.
Benson.
BNZ holding close. Is going to be secured 1 at least, but they're going to wrap on the site. Surely this is done. No chance in hell for DD. As the orb is then going to be picked up, but
There's no kit. There's no kit. No one. That's what I said. No one purchased the kit. Oh, and that was because they decided to go for the double op setup instead of going utility and kit, and that actually loses in the round because no one had a kit.
That is
Ooh, this is a very nice time to take a pause for TyLoo because not only do they need to fix some mistakes, they also leave their opponents thinking, like leaving them in that scenario where they're probably discussing right now, why didn't we buy a freaking kit? We could have had that round for free, and you kind of let them stir in that for a little while you're
get
just
in their
planning
heads,
the next
right?
one.
It's the mental
it's
game.
Perfect. It's perfect. It's such a nice call as well. Good stuff. I was pretty sure Benson had that one actually, from his position.
You think?
On the he should have had 2 kills there.
I mean, that would be a very typical sort of Bentet play, but
That's why I like. He's just usually so good.
I remember when he first burst onto the scene. He was the player that was discussed as the Chinese superstar.
Yeah.
Obviously alongside Machine Gun as well from the Mongols, I believe.
It's actually funny that none of the Asian superstars were Chinese in the beginning of CSGO. It was Machine Gun from Mongolia and then Bentet from Indonesia. Interestingly enough, because we of course we knew about the TyLoo players from back in the 1.6 days, so it's not like they were completely unknown. But Machine Gun and Bentet were completely unknown.
Did you see Machine Gun found himself a new home recently?
Yeah, Eclipse.
Yeah,
boy. It's gonna be interesting to see how he does. Like I was pretty hyped when he moved to Splice. That didn't work out. Hopefully it's gonna be better. As we do see pistols coming in here. What they basically want in this round is to save the AWP, and that also goes down. So. Hard times. Went for a B stack. Was the correct decision. Didn't work out.
Yeah, it really is what it is. The game gets closer. The battle rages on. TyLoo may have won the war.
All right. Another pause coming in. This time it's a technical one. So, to be honest, if they have only spent 1 pause so far in MVP, I'm pretty sure. Might have spent 2 just to be in case, just to make myself non-liable for anything. But still, they have 2 pauses left, maybe even 3, and it's 9 to 12. I would probably have called a tactical pause as well here.
Yeah, because obviously you can't talk to during a technical pause. You can't
talk during a technical pause. We can't see it, but I'm pretty sure they're enforcing that as well. So, because this is such an important round. This is such a key round because you look at the money right now for TyLoo. Yes, they have a full buy, but it's not like their bank is very big. If they can kind of reset them now, it's going to be the full buy for TyLoo, but if they lose that one as well, they're forced onto an eco. On the other side of things, the money on MVP is also very bad. If they force up now, if they buy this round, they're going to be on $0 on an eco after this.
Well, it's kind of like, I was pretty much just about to get into it before the pause, unfortunately, kind of struck me down, but the game really does hang in the balance. There is a certain element of... without any kind of better way of phrasing it, there is just hype there between these 2 teams right now. And at 12 to 9, it could literally go either direction. We're either going to see MVP push ahead and start to get 1 step closer to actually just closing this out. And I think if they do win these next 2 rounds, I think the game is theirs. Yeah. But I also think that swings back to TyLoo as well.
Yeah. Because if they tie it up now, then MVP is on the back foot.
If TyLoo tied us up, they win the game.
Yeah.
I don't think MVP will be able to cope with TyLoo tying it up. I don't think they have the
experience or the fortitude.
Yeah, I think both of those things come into play here. I think, overall, MVP do have a lot of experience over the years, but not in these sort of... it's a very specific skill set, if you know what I mean.
And also one of the things that I would highlight as one of the problems they had in WSG was the individual performance of HSK, kind of like the same as you look at North, let's say a great team in Europe. If MSL has a bad day, they have a really hard time coming in and getting a win against the top teams in both best of 1s and best of 3s. HSK was a liability in some games at WSG last week. This time around, he's just up there with the rest of his team. And that's what you want from your in-game leader. You just want him to have the same amount of frags, even though frags aren't that important, but you just want him to be up there because he has to feel confident.
Well, the thing is, when you break down the roles of Counter-Strike, I mean, feel free to jump in if you have a point to add here. But for me, I look at it very simply as you've got your entry fraggers, you've got your lurkers. Those guys are expected to have those blow-up games. They're expected to have a varying level of frags for every match of Counter-Strike. But for IGL, what you really want, and also for your support player as well, for both of those 2 players, you're not really too fast if they're blowing up or not. You actually just want them consistently hitting like 15, 20 kills a game.
Yeah.
As long as they're like getting that same level of throughput in every single round, you're happy.
Yeah, as long as they're not a liability and they fulfill their role, that's perfect.
Yeah, because the other players, they are your star players.
Yeah,
they
exactly.
are the ones that should be opening up, creating those opportunities, getting those clutches.
It's the same as in every single other sport. You kind of set up your stars to be the stars, and that's how you do it. I remember way back when, if you remember when the Danish team Singularity won Copenhagen Games, and it was a big surprise, and everyone. It was last year. And A&J, just before he got transferred to NA.
Ah, yes.
That whole team was set up around making A&J the star, and that's how they kind of make that whole thing to work. And it's the same thing in so many other teams. You have like 1 or 2 star players, and everyone is kind of building them up to set them up. If they have a great game, the rest of the team, they don't need to be at 20, 30 frags. They can just be around 15, and that's fine.
The great thing about that for me as well is that, and this might be a bit of a simple point, but I think it's important, especially when it comes to newer teams out there who might be getting together, no matter what level of CS you're at right now, whether you're, for me, for example, I see a lot of domestic teams gearing up in the UK trying to kind of compete in the new stuff that's coming out, like the Omen Leagues, the Danish scene, for example. You have a lot of fresh talent there. It's important to realize that if you know you have a star on your team, drop the ego and support him.
Yeah.
In a very solo-like fashion.
Also, sometimes, even if you're the secondary star or the interfrag or the 3rd star of a team, if you have a bad day, don't be afraid to say, I'm not having a good day. I'm going to play support for this one. We're going to have 2 support players. And then, because it can be so individual if you feel like you're hitting your shots. And also CS is... It's almost kind of like a medicinal placebo sometimes when you're having just like, if you, let's say, get insta-dinked in the piston round, then you lose the AWP duel in the first buy, then your confidence is low and you feel like nothing is going your way. Then that's the time to say, okay, instead of just rage buying and going back and being even more aggressive, then you say, okay, it's not really going that well. Let's see if someone else can take it. Who's confident?
It's a tough one, but nonetheless, the battle rages on with round 22 where we're at right now as things do go 1 for 1 on this A play as they advance up through ramp. DD going to take a dogfight up against HTSK. Xaccurate going to find just another, but this game goes backwards and forwards. The bomb to be smoked solo, left at a tight spot, but makes it work with just a squeeze. Finding the head of Mo, leaving Benset now in a tough one. Knows where the bomb is, that's a plus, but for him, he doesn't know where Zion is.
Zion could be anywhere on the map, solo close range. And Zion has... I feel like when they know that the bomb is down, he has to be there with the instant refrag in that scenario. They have to play it 2 players very close together because this is now giving Benset the chance of clutching this. He won't in the end. Zion is in a perfect position, headshot position on ramp, holds it down, gets the open to the next round.
Look at the money at TyLoo.
Yeah, this is what I was talking about. That round was so important because now it's going to be either a force buy or a save for TyLoo here.
I think an instant attack pulse for TyLoo. If this is a attack pulse for TyLoo, this is incredibly smart for them.
Yeah, no, I would agree. I would also call it the pulse, yeah.
Stops MVP from getting, emotions high off of the back of that win. Because, I mean, they know full well right now that this sets them up for the win quite easily. It's worth noting, though, you take a look at MVP, look at their money. I mean, they're not in a perfect situation either. They're going to have to squeeze out even rifles in some cases here. I mean, 3350 is not a great number at all for Globe.
Oh, this also sets this one up as a very important round, one of these swing rounds, one of these key rounds. Because if they take this one back, TyLoo, both teams, you can say, are buying all the way down. And they can reset MVP now if they win this one, TyLoo, and then they get a free eco round. And then it's all of a sudden 11-13 instead of being 15-9. So this is a very, very important one. But the problem is Captain Mo is only on a Desert Eagle, somebody only on a Mac 10. But then again, MP9 and FAMAS on Ceph and Glow, so it's almost a level playing field here.
A lot of utility being invested early on in towards this plat hold as TyLoo are mostly bunched up, just using somebody as a scout.
Cabby aim without even spraying. I like it. Very shaky. Setting up for the B execute here. Do have 4 smokes, 1 Molotov on somebody. Gonna take control over drop it again.
It'll be interesting to see how this drop hold works. I mean, MVP have been approaching it very passively, just kind of boxing them in from outside, not even taking the jewels into second room, allowing them to funnel on towards the site, and from there, that's when they then take those jewels. And that's kind of worked out for MVP so far. HSK obviously the player to watch in this scenario, left completely blind, but so far, so good. Zion now next in line, as it is going to be the push. They line up, there's 2, knows the position of Mo as well. This is glorious sign. You absolute star, 3 kills in the back. And for MVP, that is their 14th round and a swing round, like you say. Let's take a look at the bank of TyLoo.
Yeah, and those 2 rounds won pretty much gives MVP the game now. I see no way that TyLoo are going to grant this back because they're going to lose. There's almost no way, like 99%, that they're going to lose this one. And then they have to grind all the rounds back to take it to OT.
TyLoo can do that, though. We did say TyLoo can do that.
Yeah, but at this point, when they win this one and go to round number 15, MVP could just stack one bomb site for the rest of the game, and then at some point TyLoo is gonna run onto that bomb site and just lose duels.
Yeah, I mean, ultimately that is the issue. I think the thing here is that we could definitely have faith in TyLoo. We talked about this quite a lot about the kind of ability to bring games back. The issue is we need a foundation for that faith, and I don't necessarily have anything to spot out in this second half that says to me, hey, TyLoo did that well. If they can just refine that, then it works. We haven't really seen anything like that.
No. They've been playing good. Like, it's not like they've been playing a bad Counter-Strike. It's just it hasn't really been up to the level that we expected. And that is a good and a bad thing, because it's always nice that you know that you can play well, and that we know and the fans know that they can play well, but they have to be able to execute that themselves. And this is with their backs against the wall. TyLoo about to be upset by MVP. Big favorites to come out off Group A on Chinese home soil. One of the big favorites to the tournament. And now the Koreans, just like in any other esport, are coming in for the kill.
What's not to love? Also another reminder of WSG. Sort of same thing there as well. With Germany, I did think pimped them at the post for the victory overall, but was China second, I believe? Korea third for WSG?
For WSG?
Yeah, total medals.
Oh, I actually don't know.
Ah. Well, either way, let's move away from that conversation onto the game, as it looks like MVP.
That's a good question, though.
Yeah,
because that's what you usually do at like the Olympics.
They showed it right at the very end. I remember sitting there. It was a super cool.
I was in the middle of
the Atlantic at that point.
No, actually, I was just over Mongolia at some point, or Russia. I don't know. Sitting in an airplane.
Good times, good times.
Yeah, the internet wasn't good enough to stream the finals. I had to watch it over scoreboard, which was okay still. I could follow.
Looks like we are going to see the flash combo again come out. I think it's really important to note from MVP the way they play drop. It's like a much bigger improvement from the way that they attacked it in the first half, because like the way they attacked it in the first half for me was just like not working. It just, I think they lost 4 rounds to them just pushing drop with 3 players, and TyLoo just holding it down. So definitely some big success for them there. Obviously here a little different because they decided to hold in second room, and you could already see where that crumbles, right? Somebody gets the 1-for-1 trade and completely changes the dynamic.
don't really... It's so nice for Glow that he gets that opening, and then he just gets frag hungry, and he just goes for the secondary pick, even though he knows that he's in a bad position to take that frag. Yeah. He knows there's a T there holding that angle. That's why he actually goes for the pre-aim.
I think TyLoo win this round, though, unless they don't check the side.
Gotta check that back corner. 1v2, though.
That's rough. You got to check that, but nonetheless, an opportunity for somebody. Flash goes out nice and high towards Black, can use that. But Zine is just going to shut this one down. Triple kill for him, and MVP ultimately going 16-9 in this map.
What a great win for the Koreans. The upset has been locked down, and my player, my man, Solo, with 24 frags to 15 deaths. That's a very nice position to be in.
Yeah, also, I mean, credit again for the support play. That was a really nice game to watch from a sort of fundamentals of Counter-Strike. It was nice because instead of going kind of predominantly into our typical sort of casting, we were just kind of given multiple opportunities to pick out smokes, look at setups, and have those kind of conversations just about CS as a whole, which I think is the perk of the group stages today. But
a really nice showcase for Asian CS as well.
Exactly.
We got to see how well they can actually play in a structured format. It's always nice to see.
I actually think from that game there are some significant points that Western teams can take away in terms of discipline. I mean, we talked a lot about that right at the start. But before we get into that, let's just take a look at the stats from the game. Obviously, our best players across the map. No surprise that Solo right now is going to hold that tournament record. Very
nice that X-Accurate actually steps up and becomes, even though they're losing the game, he's still the best player for TyLoo. It's always so hard if you go into a tournament and you say, okay, I have a new player, and he's just like bombing out of the scoreboard in the bottom placement. It's actually not the new guy bombing out of the scoreboard, it's the exact other way around. And even though like they lost the game, he still won the sniper duels. So that's always nice to see that you can rely on him to do that, at least for the last, because now they have to grind out games in this group.
It's 2 words beginning with C: consistency and confidence.
Yeah.
Both those things super important, especially for HSK.
Good game for him. In-game leader and Orpa. HSK takes another win for that one. And that's going to be the MVP boys taking the win there.
Yeah, I think that's... I mean, for a start, you do owe me some German freestyle rap. You did say if MVP won the map.
Yeah.
That's going to come. So.
I'm gonna put that out on Instagram, so check that out.
Nice one. Nicely done. Nicely done.
There you go.
Well, folks, come back with us for our next map of the day. The group stage, of course, of this wonderful, wonderful event. And I'm going to try and go for the name. I'm sure I'm going to get the order mixed around. But this is the Chongqing Invitational. There we go. We got there in the end. We'll see you for our next map after a very short break.
LootBet, online esports betting. Dota, CSGO, Overwatch, Hearthstone, and many more. Bet on tournament matches or in-game events while viewing them live. Deposit using money, bitcoins, or even skins. Join LootBet now. Use the code you see here when you deposit and grab your bonus.